Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kevin Gianni from the Renegade Health Show. Today is Friday. Look at this mountain. Holy cow. Bam. Oh, you guys can't see it. There we go. We're staying here at Mr. B's Casino. We stayed the night here.
I did too.
But anyway, Henry's on the phone. Wanted to recap this week. Thank you so much, guys, for your support in helping us find Johnny 5. We really appreciate that. And today we have an awesome interview with Raymond Francis. You guys are going to love it. He's talking about mercury toxicity and a few other things. Go ahead and check it out.
Why is mercury so bad, and why can it cause so many diseases? Well, here's why. We have metabolic machinery in us called enzymes. And enzymes are these little machines that put things together and take things apart. So if you want to build a hormone, and we all need to build hormones every day, every moment of every day, how do you build a hormone? Well, the little machines do that. They put all the little molecules together in the right way, and they build a hormone molecule. Let's say you want to actually think, which is something nice to do, and you want your brain to do this. You have to build what we call a neurotransmitter. Well, how do you do that? Well, when you need that neurotransmitter, the enzymes go to work and they stick the little molecules together and they build the neurotransmitter, and so on and so forth. Well, here's the problem. A toxin like mercury can shut down those enzymes. And then when you need to build that neurotransmitter, you don't. And so your mind doesn't work as well. Your mind isn't as sharp as it should be. And sometimes you can go really cuckoo. Depending on how much mercury you have. If you need to build that hormone, a hormone is a messenger molecule. It's part of your body's communication system. And hormones go around the body delivering messages to the cells to tell them what to do. If you need to build a hormone and those enzymes are not functioning, you don't build the hormone, and now your body becomes hormonally imbalanced, and that's almost every American. I mean, hormone imbalance is an epidemic in America. So let's say that you need to build an antibody to protect you from infection so you don't get a cold or you don't get the flu. If you can't build that antibody, you don't protect yourself. You can get an infection. I've had one infection in 21 years, one cold in 21 years, and I have an excuse for that. And it's irresponsible to have a cold. But I was coming back. I made a speech in Egypt, and I was flying back, and there was bad weather. Planes got canceled. Planes got delayed. I was up for more than 48 hours without any sleep, and that lowered my immunity, and I got the cold. But there's no excuse for having a cold. There's no reason to have it. All you need to do is keep your immunity strong. And again, pay attention to deficiency and toxicity, keep your immune system working the way it's supposed to, keep all those antibodies being made when they're supposed to be made. So, as you see, just one toxin can screw up a lot of things because these enzymes work all over your body. And a toxin like mercury can affect all of those enzymes around the body. And so you don't want to do that. And a deficiency, it takes raw materials, to build those molecules. If you don't have the raw materials, you don't build them, and that's where deficiency comes in. You got to have coenzymes, vitamins. You got to have vitamins. You got to have minerals. You got to have protein in order to build these precious molecules. If you don't have the right stuff, you don't build them, and then the body doesn't function as well. So we say, oh, poor so-and-so is getting older, and their mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. It has nothing to do with getting older. It has to do with getting sicker and causing more and more malfunction and getting more toxic so that you're not building the correct neurotransmitters. If you take that person and restore their cells to normal function, they'll be as sharp as a tack. I mean, here, when I was dying, I think I told you I'd go to the store and come home without the groceries. My mind wasn't working too good. Today, I'm as sharp as a tack. So you don't have to lose your mind as you get older. you can actually strengthen it and make it sharper.
I want to ask you about deficiencies. What do you think are some of the best ways to determine what specific deficiencies the body has or the cell has?
Well, unfortunately, see, medicine doesn't think this way, and so we haven't developed good technology to measure things. There are certain things we can measure. For instance, I recommend today that everybody measure their vitamin D levels, because we're finding so much, so many of us are deficient in vitamin D. We've been told to stay out of the sun. We've been told to put sunscreen on. And everybody's following that very bad advice, not getting the sunshine that they need, and we're all vitamin D deficient. Cancer patients, I haven't seen a cancer patient yet that wasn't vitamin D deficient. So, and we have a good test for that now. We only had one for about 10 years, but we have a good test. It's called the 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. So you can go to your doctor and say, test me for 25-hydroxy vitamin D, and you can find out. Iodine, I'm finding a lot of people today are short iodine. Well, it's a good test for it. So very simple to do and not terribly expensive. And again, that I'm finding a lot of cancer patients iodine deficient. For example, the breast tissue. We know that the thyroid is very rich in iodine, for example, but breast tissue is very rich in iodine. And we find that people with breast cancer are low in iodine. So there's got to be a connection there, and there is a connection. So there are things, vitamin B12, we can do a test for vitamin B12. So there are a number of tests that we can do, but unfortunately not enough of them. So we really, as a practical matter, we can't really measure how people are doing with their nutrition. We can only measure part of it. So what I recommend is that everybody get on the best diet they can get on, and get on the best supplement they can get on, the best supplement program, and it'll probably take care of itself if you do that.
What is the best diet? What have you found to be the most effective?
Well, there is, yeah, that's a tough question.
I know.
There is no one diet that is appropriate to every human being, and we know this. And a diet that's appropriate to a South Sea Islander is going to be very inappropriate to an Eskimo.
Yeah.
And people have lived on a variety of different diets and lived quite well. But what are the common things that we find in those diets, and what is wrong with our diet? And in one word, it's the processed foods. So if you want to help yourself, if you want to, get off of processed foods. And then people come to me and they say, well, what's processed foods? They don't even know.
Yeah.
And it's everything you buy at the supermarket, or almost everything, is a processed food. I mean, anything that happens to a food after nature provides it, that's processing. So if you pick an apple off a tree and you cut it, that's processing. But it's minimal processing.
Sure.
If you cut it open and you eat it, that's minimal processing. But when you take wheat and you grind it up and you make white flour, that's major processing. So the more you do to a food, the worse it gets.
All right, your question of the day. Have you tested for mercury? Have you tested for mercury? Go ahead and post it down below. Hair test is probably the most effective. Would love to know if you've done it. Feeling sophisticated today with my glasses. Feeling scientific. This is Kevin Gianni from the Renegade Health Show. Together we can change the health of the world, one show at a time.